Well, let's go ahead and get started. And I think I might juggle the order here just to delay a little bit the discussion about the roadmap priorities in case we get more people joining, because I think that's where it would be good to have as many on as possible. We do not have Bujong. I exchanged email with him yesterday, and it sounds as though 1.5 release is any moment now. Sounds like they're really close. Does anyone else have any information on that? So again, we'll come back up to the development priorities in a minute. Let's take care of the infra update. David?
Okay. First, Larry's gone through and basically reduced the number of jobs across the board even more, down to what we believe was the minimum desired. I know there's a question out on rock jobs of which ones we still need to maintain, so keep an eye on that. Please let me know if those change. Anything on Jenkins. We've got all of the Ether on-ramp jobs that are identified as desired, running in dynamic except for default charts 2 servers 2204. I expect to have that running tonight. Basically couldn't get through the 5 levels of globbing that occurred between everything as fast as I wanted to last night. But that should be available tonight in dynamic, which should reduce our costs and provide a little bit more flexibility. In terms of Jira Confluence, I'm sorry, back to Jenkins. There are still some jobs that are flaky, passing sometimes, failing other times. I need to get in and track those down. Haven't done that yet. Jira Confluence, the systems seem to be up. I've had 2 or 3 different people encounter access the first 1 or 2 times they try and access it with bad landing pages or bad attempts, but those seem to have gone away. Like to request people to please let me know if they run into problems more than the first 1 or 2. I am looking into those 1 or 2, but I really need to know if other issues happen after that. Additionally, are there any other problems or issues that people have run into? If so, please DM me or file an IT ticket with LF. Let me append this with how to do that. But it's not here yet, so I need to give you easy access to create tickets for. Right now, is anybody off topic have a issue with Jira Confluence that I have not described yet?
So just for everyone's information, it is the case that you're doing HTTP redirects from the Ether branded URLs to the LF Ether landing pages, right?
Correct. The LF Ether landing pages are actually Atlassian landing pages, meaning they're supported by the Atlassian cloud. So they're they're named LF, but they're not actually LF hosted.
Yeah. Right. I thank you. Good. Is that that's the standard procedure as opposed to DNS CNAMEs?
It appears to be what the LF domain people want to do.
Okay. I did see other projects do the same thing, so I assume that.
Yep.
So on Jira, we just need to make a push, and maybe this is related to the SD core development work, that people start using Jira to record tickets. It'll take some effort, I suspect, to get that little bit of momentum going there, but we should start doing that.
Yep, I'll do what I can on that. I do have 6 outstanding tickets. We just spoke about the Jira dashboard issues. Part of the cleanup and confirmation are those other 2 tickets that you see there. Those are filed by Larry and provide the logic and the desires for which tests are going in. The next 3 are issues that we've tripped across or need to get tasks done. These are in rough priority order of what I'll be looking at.
I'd like to visit 27179, the Rock API tests. Because I do see Sean is on.
Okay.
What I would like to do is get to the point that, well, eventually we have all CI related tests running out of GitHub. And the one subsystem missing that right now is Rock. But we got a perfectly good set of JJB specs to do CI for Rock. But that's the only remaining, what is the name of that Garrett repo? Aether CI management, I believe.
API management.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
Larry,
Sean, can we
uh,
figure out exactly what we need so we can prune everything else out of Jenkins?
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm not, I don't have the link to this Jira. Is
Give me a
it
second, I'll get it.
jira.easyproject.org?
Say that I didn't quite catch the last thing.
Is it jira.etherproject.org?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Right, okay. And yeah, okay, I can get into that now. And it's 27179.
Yeah,
Just
I
want
mean,
to see if I can
all
find it.
that ticket is just to document that we need to take care of this. There's nothing really useful in there. Let me, since we're talking about it, let me jump into Jira. I'm sorry, Jenkins. I have reduced the dashboard, and this is somewhat cosmetic, but it helps me keep track of what's going on. These are the only remaining collections of tests that are relevant. This is the original set of on-ramp tests that use static VMs, and that were getting to be so expensive, and we're deprecating those. These next two server, Quick Start 2004, Quick Start 2204 are the new versions that have the dynamic VMs. And so those are all just on-ramp related. The other set of tests are these Rock API tests, and those are the ones that originated. So this would be the view, if you will, Sean, that would be most interesting.
Right.
And you'll see almost
Okay.
all of these disabled. The way this was constructed was several months ago, DAF went through all the jobs and saw which ones had run in the last months, and that
Okay.
was formed baseline. I went through baseline and deleted everything that was obviously not related to Rock. Not deleted, I disabled. So this is the one key job, I would assume, which is not
And
one
does
of
that
these.
complete, you know?
I'm sorry?
Does that complete if you, like, I know you just started it now, but did it complete the last time? Or is it broken?
It seems to be broken.
I see, okay. Okay.
Well, let's see,
And right, okay, yeah, I can see the red, yeah.
yeah.
And on that list that you showed, Larry, I saw FOSSA in there as well, NAS FOSSA. So that's, I guess, some job that checks that it's got like this, I don't know, free and open source or something like this.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
Mhm.
cool.
That one
I
maybe
don't
need,
know, like who created this one? I don't think that was there previously. Is it?
yeah, so I think this method of of approximating which jobs are required might be a little so indirect as to be meaningless, it's possible.
Okay.
I mean, clearly if it had Rock in it, it seemed to be a valuable one.
Right. Okay. Okay. So overall, the objective is to get all of these jobs running in GitHub. All jobs that are relevant here running in GitHub, and just retire all of these ones here that
That's
are running in
objective
Jenkins.
2. Objective 1, assuming objective 2 is going to take some time, is just
Yeah,
understanding which of these jobs are actually required. If someone
I
tomorrow were to
see.
make a change to Rock and tried to check it in and wanted
Hmm.
to publish a new Helm chart, which jobs would be required?
Right. Okay. Okay. I got it now. That's useful to break it down into 2 steps, Larry. Thank you.
Yeah, and quite frankly, there may be some mistakes in here, like maybe NAS FOSSA. If it's disabled, it was my best guess that we didn't needed it, but that one actually might be a mistake.
Right.
Now
Okay.
that I look
Okay.
at it.
That's fine. Yeah, and step 2 is moved on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll look into those.
Thank you. Okay, so back to the agenda. So that's where everything is. Is anything else, staff?
No, that's all I had.
All right.
One quick thing before we move out of the
Mhm.
infra section. Duff,
Mhm.
what would be the way to solve the issue that I'm having with the wiki? I'm not able to access the wiki.
Oh, for you,
Yeah,
we need to get your Gmail access approved by Atlassian. I need to either have you call Atlassian or Atlassian deal with it. For some reason, your account has been disassociated with Atlassian, and they're not going to support you until they find out why not.
should I kind of create a new account or something like that, or sign up, or
You use probably not. I think the right thing to do is shoot. Let me figure out a way for you to ping them and clean you off their bad list. I don't know why you're on the bad list, but apparently you are. And we should clean it off because you want to use that same account. If we don't get it, if I don't get back to you by the end of the day, let me ping me again.
okay, thanks.
But
So
we should clean
this
up
is
your account.
confusing.
So.
This is confusing to me. So you have to be an LF member. I mean, it was the case that we wanted you to be an LF to get access to the wiki. Now you also need the Atlassian account, which is different than your LF account.
Correct. But the Atlassian account will absorb your LF account if you use it initially.
All right, that was so if by default, if I have an LF account, I should get the Atlassian account. And if something
Right.
just went funky for Gabriel.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's got something from years back that apparently tripped Atlassian.
got it. So I don't know, we've got 20 people on here. I would ask every one of you to try to log into Jira and try to log into the wiki or connect to and see if it works for you, because it should. And the more of those we get, the sooner we can get this all resolved. Okay, quick on-ramp, and then we'll go back to the top. We had a meeting this morning. We have a way forward on absorbing the Kubernetes related PR requests, so that should happen soon. We have a work in progress, just a little bit of refactoring of the on-ramp blueprints so that we have a global section and that pulls out some variables that span all subsystems. And you can take a look in the on-ramp guide. There's now a new guideline for how to write a new blueprint, or some advice on how to do that. And Bala, anything else to add to that? Oh, wait, Bala's not on. All right, so let's go to the top. And I see we do have more people that have joined. Several weeks ago, we had a discussion about the roadmap for SD Core. And if you haven't looked at it, there's a link there to the current roadmap. But I wanted to revisit this and open the discussion because we now have both the ARA project and the iOS project people involved in using SD Core, and to give them an opportunity to talk about what their priorities are and for them to learn about what was the roadmap, because they might not be familiar with it. And so I just kick off the discussion with 2 points, which is I think the priority, and AJ, please do speak up. I believe the priority for the roadmap right now is that we upgrade to release 18. So everything kind of follows that. There's also some scalability modifications or patches in the works, and they will eventually get checked in as well. But those are already in the process of being merged. So AJ, do you want to say anything, or shall we open the floor for others? You're muted if you're trying to talk. Or I'm not hearing you. I guess you're not muted, but I'm not hearing you, AJ.
Now you can hear me?
Now I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying, yeah, there are multiple things we have captured in the roadmap or in that link, whatever. I think you have you have that link there, right? So multiple bullets under the release 18 upgrade is what is our first immediate goal. If you see like multiple interfaces, this is exactly what we want to do. There is like after the third bullet, I think we have an option of changing few things based on the what is it that community needs, right? But first three is what are related to upgrade and new feature additions. So I see like there are some of the other things like UPF related functionalities getting asked, right? Like adding the multiple DNN and all those supports. So those things we need to see where it fits in.
So I wanted to make sure I heard you correctly. You consider the top three things: specification of the interfaces,
Yeah,
GNB support, and then the upgrading of MongoDB and Kafka to the latest versions as being, from your perspective, the highest priority.
correct. I think
Okay.
that's right. So that's what I consider as the highest priority, and that's how we have ordered. Few things like some of the bullets here are small work items, and it's something like any individual can pick it up and raise the pull request, right? So we don't see any issues in that. Like for example, the last one, 10th one is what I think iOS MCN guys have been doing it, like trying out multiple DNN support within the UPF, right?
That's where that bullet came
Yeah,
from. Thanks.
It has some relation with the N4 interface upgrade, which is part of 1B. If we have 1B done, then it should be relatively easy to do that 10 number as well, because then protocol would
One
be
B is done to release 16 at least.
okay. Okay, so Canonical have done that 1B.
Yep.
So relatively 10th is now independently can be executed. Yeah, some of these things are bit more of advanced features, but top three are like very basics. We need to make sure they are available as a part of this project.
Good. So let's hear from others who
Yeah.
are working on the core or would like to see features added. And is anyone? I mean, I called out the iOS and the ARA teams specifically, but anyone else as well. Can anyone speak to the iOS priorities just generally in very broad terms?
Yeah, is it possible if these two teams, if they can tell us what's their bigger goal and what's the various hurdles and what are the various features they would like to see, and in what area they are going to contribute themselves, and they are looking for some support from the other community members, right? So that will really help us in reconciling this list and maybe changing some priority if it makes sense, right? Because we are also learning based on how the community users are using it, right? So if you're missing something important, we are flexible enough to accommodate that in this priority list.
Yeah, hi, Arsalan here from Iowa State. So I think Josh is not in the call. I don't see him. I don't know if Tiani has something to add. Initially for the like we were basically looking to integrate the the OAI, with the SD core, we got that working. Then we shifted, to SD-WAN. I know that we are interested. I mean, in terms of our research priorities, we are interested in some of the scalability studies that are mentioned at point number 6. How that can help us. Uh, also we are study in scheduling, trying different scheduling. At one point we were looking at the X apps as well, the existing ones, which I know it's not related to probably like directly related to SD core, but we were like interested in. So we have our like in-house kind of algorithms which we have researched before like even considering any of the open source 5G stack solutions available there, including like OAI and Ether components. Those are like algorithms like LDP. So we were looking into how to integrate those into like in the form of an XApp, and this was, I think, and this will remain one of the key focus for us. But precisely on SD core side, what features will be very important, most important for us. I think I will request Josh to keep joining these meetings regularly, from next Tuesday onward. And so yeah, this is all I can think of right now. I don't have. Yeah, yeah. Tiani, you
So
would like to add something? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, this is Etienne from ISU. So actually our colleague Joshua is already made SD core work with our testbed, and he's going to do a demo related to this part in the OEI's 10th anniversary workshop.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and right now he's moving to the SD run part. Yeah, I think he's still a little bit like working with this part, and maybe also if the
Mm.
SD run new version 1.5 is released, yeah, maybe we can also try that part. Yeah, but as Professor Arsalan said, like our ultimate goal is like using the use the SD core and SD run to support our scheduling and power control part.
Absolutely. Yes. Mm. Yeah.
Achieve the low latency power control and low latency scheduling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, in terms of research interest, this I would see that this is something that we will, I can surely say that this is something that would keep pursuing, when we talk about. So yeah, yeah. Also, I think at one point we were looking into XApps, like writing or making changes into existing XApps. Maybe we will pick up on that, sooner at some point again.
So a fair amount of your work crosses the SD-RAN, SD core boundary and is SD-RAN, although maybe that implies some SD core work. Specifically on SD core, so you want it working with OAI, which it is. Are there other radios that you want SD core to be demonstrated with that are important to your?
So Jenny, which radios were we working on for the OpenStar demo? Were we able to do something on that part or not?
Oh no, that's not for OpenStar demo. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just for the like 5G demo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more related to like using the SD core as a core network. Yeah, to show like how errors testbed support SD core. Yeah, right now we don't make like too much interesting part yet. It's just like show we can work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in the future, I would say our strategy would be more move forward to the SD run side. yeah, as you mentioned, working on the X app.
So in terms of research, I'm going to paraphrase and tell me if I got this right. From a research kind of perspective, you see most of your work happening on the RAN side.
Yes.
You just want the core to work. So with that framing, is it fair to say that your expectations of the core is that it work with a variety of different radio settings, and OAI is where you're starting, but maybe you call it a stretch goal. There would be other radios as well.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I forgot one thing. Yeah, it's like, we are working with Ericsson, and right now we are planning to switch from Ericsson base station to connect to their Ericsson core network to the SD core.
No, Tiani, not Ericsson core network to the SD core. Rather, we are replacing Ericsson. So the core network we have right now is from Ericsson, which is, I think, their proprietary. And we will be so.
Yeah, we will replace it with
Yeah.
SD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if that could very well generate some features that we need to work on, that would be a
Yeah.
great exercise.
Yes, it could.
So that would be wonderful to see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm noting this as that generally you might want to demo the core with other radios. For example, working with Ericsson radios and Aether core.
Oh, that's actually it's actually very much on the cards. So this is going to happen soon, in like next couple of months. So and I think they will be Quictel radios, right, Tiani? Which we will be trying to make them work with.
The Ericsson base station and Quectel UE.
Yeah, Quictel UE. Okay, sorry. Yeah. With the SD core. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we please keep us all informed as to what
Absolutely. Yeah.
issues you run into on the Aether core supporting that radio.
Yeah, and I'm sure there must be issues. So it will be interesting exercise actually. Yeah, we'll keep the team here posted. And I think I will request Josh as well. So maybe he can actually talk into more detail as when it comes to SD core and like the technical part of it. Yeah.
Yep, got it. Thanks. All right. Anyone on from iOS? Going once. So a few unfamiliar names, but I don't. Well, I do see Canonical on, so let me ask Canonical if put you on the spot if there are any, how you think about the priorities with the core.
I think like one of the priorities of the core that we see is probably like continuous upgrade schemes. So basically currently it's release 15 as far as I know. So probably like an ongoing development plan so that we can keep up with the 3GPP releases. I think that's one of the important features. And the other one is, I think, wider slicing support. I believe for different types of 3GPP slice types, I think there needs to be support for those so that we can better advertise the core network for private mobile use cases. And
right.
Of course, the interoperability with radios is super important. I see like items there already. Interworking with core of the core with open air interface is also super important. This is something that we are looking into as well.
Yeah, so that works. That's been demonstrated. There's now an on-ramp blueprint to install SD core with OAI.
Yeah, but on top of that, Larry, regarding the slicing, also or at this point last year, 2 years ago, we demonstrated the slicing with SD core and open air interface.
It's been demonstrated, but we need it, we need it released.
Oh yeah, no, I mean our side is released. I mean the part that was work on the OAI side, that was, I think it was already contributed from NEU to the OAI community. I'm not sure whether it has
It's
been
been
merged already.
Contributed back to OAI, got it.
Yep.
I'm sorry, continue on. What else is there?
I mean, of course, like when I say these 3 points, these are the things that I think as a community that we should be working on to further Ether.
Yep.
But of course, like as Canonical, we contribute with additional automation with our Juju framework, as you all know of. And this is something like that we are continuously working on. Also, reliability improvements. I think we had a lot of upstream PRs towards reliability of the deployment. Like once it's deployed, do the network services restart as expected, and if you restart them, do they actually behave as they would normally do when you first deploy them, sort of things. And also we are working on some of the removing some of the database dependencies of some of the network functions where they ideally shouldn't have. So the team is working towards that as well. These are currently work items that we are working on. I think they also have some upstream PRs for those.
What was so that third one, database reliability?
Yeah, so we realized that quite a few network functions actually have direct access to the backend database where they ideally shouldn't have. And so towards it, actually, the team has been working on removing those.
So I'm going to characterize this as removing backdoor dependencies of network functions on database.
Yeah, something
Got
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what exactly it is, but yeah, would be interested in knowing like what is this dependency. We do have dependency in terms of storing the subscribers and storing the configuration. And not are you referring to one of these dependency or something more?
I think like this, as far as I know, obviously I have high level knowledge on this as well. I don't work hands-on on the project, but some of the network elements, like obviously AMF, SMF, and UDM, they have databases, but they have database accesses. But some of them, I believe, as far as I understand, they shouldn't have under normal circumstances. So I guess like we can provide some further information as to what we find out there as well.
Okay, I mean when any PR comes, we can see what kind of work is getting done, but that's fine. Okay.
So this is great stuff. I love the focus on reliability and hardening, and it sounded like a fair amount of that has to do with restarting, which is probably at the root of some of the problems that we see when we run tests right now. Very well could be anyway. Anybody else want to add? Your organization's priorities. I think everything is really well aligned here. I don't see any huge outliers. Anybody else? AJ, you want a final word here?
I guess Gabriel was saying something.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just to highlight something regarding the different PRs that have been kind of contributed from the Canonical teams and from other teams is we are pretty much up to date. So there is no outstanding PR to be merged. Everything has been merged. There is only one PR from Guglielmi from Canonical team that is in draft state. But besides that, we are pretty much up to date with all the contributions from the different community members.
Good, thank you. Is there anything else? So everyone's homework again is to go try to get connected to Jira and the wiki and let DAF know if you have any issues.
I threw a little blurb.
And if we Sorry, if we
Well-
have issues, how do we bring them up, or is there a forum?
If you have issues, go to the top of this page and you will find a way to submit a ticket. And that,
Okay.
and part of that ticket, you will select the Aether project, and that is probably what will trigger DAF to get it.
Yeah, Aether project and component release engineering. I updated the infra area a little bit with ticket information there below.
Oh, good.
Larry just said the
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah, oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Thank you.
Think of it as two pieces. Issues with Aether product and Jira setup for Aether product go in the Jira site. You see the first button bullet there. Generic infrastructure items should go in the LF site. I know that's confusing, and I'll try and track, sync both sides if somebody goes into the wrong area. But fundamentally, I'm not the only person who'll work with you, so I need to support other people's model.
Saying that a slightly different way, once you get into Jira, there is a subcomponent, which is Jira itself supporting. There's a component for
Larry?
core, there's a component for RAN, there's a component for on-ramp, and there's a component for Jira. So you can file tickets there as well. But any meta issues you have goes to the Linux Foundation.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Thanks. Nothing else? Thanks, everybody. Do it again next week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.